back to the Winner's Circle, where we explore how IT and business leaders can leverage technology to get ahead of the competition and win. I'm your host, Pavle Madle, and today I've got two fascinating individuals who've got a boatload of experience. Got Jay Pulo here, who's founder and SVP of ESP at NexusTek Company, and Bobby Christian, who is executive chairman here at NexusTek. Where do you see the biggest technology opportunities for hospitality over the next few years as we start to think down the road?
I have the luxury of talking about this, from a practitioner perspective. And when I set out on this journey about 18 months ago, evaluating properties, I was looking for a platform that would enable me to buy it properly and then to grow it properly and then to operate it properly, but really focusing on the buy it, the due diligence part of it. And so the owners, the folks at Jason Services, which are usually the owners, what they want to make sure of is that they do the right due diligence to buy a property properly that aligns with their investment thesis and that fits into their portfolio the right way. And there really wasn't a great platform out there to do that. And now with artificial intelligence and with LLM and a lot of the models that you can apply to this business, hospitality as an industry doesn't really leverage innovation and cutting edge technologies the way some other, like maybe financial services or high tech, I would say. So for me as a practitioner, I was like, hey, there's really nothing out there. So NexusTek is actually building a product. It's a platform that leverages artificial intelligence and LLM so that you can literally put in an address of a property and put in your investment thesis. And there are like 6 areas and 129 elements that are all brought together to help you buy a property. And it's all AI driven. So more to be discussed about that in the future. I think it's going to be launched in Q4 of this year. But
Wow.
Jason is instrumental in helping us with those requirements and doing that due diligence because he is part of that strategic planning and execution for each of these owners. And if you think about an owner that came to Jason and to ESP, a NexusTek company now, they would come to him and literally I met someone in New York a couple of weeks ago who had 3 properties, and they're up to over 50 properties now. And each
Wow.
of those situations, 47 times they had to go through a process to determine. They looked at a lot more deals, believe me. It's usually almost like 100 to 1 they look at versus
Wow.
the ones they buy. So you can imagine how many properties they looked at. Jason and ESP, they're part of that process, right? So influencing how that due diligence is done and how AI can be leveraged so that you, instead of having to pull in a bunch of documents or a lot of public data and you have private data. Instead of pulling in all that public data and having to go pull all that together, it takes an inordinate amount of time. So this platform really accelerates that by just put in an address, put in your thesis, put in a little bit of information of those 6 areas that are important to you and kind of the ranges, hit a button, and then boom, it pulls all that data together. And the cooler part about that is the way agentic AI works is every time there's an article, every time there's new publicly available data, it pulls that data into the platform and rescores it for you and tells you, where the gaps are in your investment thesis. So for owners and for, the investment firms that are growing portfolios, it's like having Jason as an expert, ESP as an expert. And when I say Jason, it's not Jason. Believe me, he's got a great team. it's the whole ESP team as a team to make sure that it's done properly. And then you've got this AI platform to enable that. So it's pretty exciting that NexusTek is investing in that area and leaning forward in innovation. And so I think the combination of those two things, I think that hospitality is probably pretty quickly going to become our number 1 vertical.
Yeah, no,
Wow.
that's great. And look, Pat, we're so excited to bring this to market because, with just some of the stuff Bobby touched upon, that whole due diligence or assessment phase is such a human resource, intensive process, right? So if you can mitigate that by bringing AI into it, that's a game changer. And this will be a huge game changer in the industry, especially for someone like myself who's been involved in 1,000+ hotel acquisitions. The due diligence process takes months, sometimes years to go through and do correctly. So this will reduce that and offer better insight to the investment companies, when they're looking to make these, purchases. So
So it's funny, Jason. The conversation I just had yesterday, the guy that I was talking to was like, "Yeah, it's not so much the ones I want to buy. I just want to say no to the ones that we absolutely know we're not going to buy
sure,
quickly."
yeah.
Because if I'm looking at 100 and I buy one, the 99 is what really gets to them, and they want a more effective way of very quickly saying no, so they don't have to invest time in
Yeah.
evaluating them. You know?
Time is money, right? And when there's
Yeah, exactly.
so much time doing this, yeah, I mean, the missed opportunities, right? So hopefully, we can bring this to the table and really change the industry.
That's what it seems like it'll do. I mean, I can't even imagine the overall amount of hours that are saved on one investment,
Yeah,
let alone
for
multiple
sure.
over a course of years. So
Absolutely. We're excited. The growth has been amazing, Jason. It's been a pleasure to work with you side by
Yeah,
side, and
you as
we're looking
well.
forward to a lot of good things ahead with our innovation of our platform and the good work that you've done, and the foundation that you've built is something that we're going to be able to build on. So we're excited about the future of hospitality at NexusTek via ESP.
thank you for taking the time to listen to us, and be sure to embrace technology. Right, it's those who embrace technology today that own business in the future. So take care.